James sat at the edge of his bed, staring at the dusty guitar leaning against the wall. When he was younger, that guitar had been everything. He'd spent hours strumming away, dreaming of stages, spotlights, and crowds singing along to his songs. And for a while, it felt like those dreams might come true. He'd even played a few gigs, tiny bars crammed with friends and strangers who gave him hope that he might just have what it takes. But life had a way of piling on the excuses. The music faded when the bills came due, replaced by late nights at an office desk, chasing deadlines instead of melodies. The guitar moved from his lap to a corner, and eventually, it moved out of his mind altogether. Until tonight. Tonight, James couldn't seem to pull his eyes away from it. Maybe it was the conversation earlier with his colleague Emily. She had mentioned how she'd always wanted to try painting, and how, after years of hesitation, she finally decided to take a class. "You know," she had said, smiling, "it's never too late to go after what you really want." The words stuck in James's chest like a splinter. It wasn't too late, was it? The dream might feel miles away now, but it hadn't disappeared entirely. He moved to pick up the guitar, hesitating when his hand hovered over the neck. That familiar voice of fear crept in. "What's the point?" it said. "You're too old for this. You're kidding yourself if you think you'll ever make it." But then another thought followed, softer yet stronger. Just try. Before he could change his mind, James grabbed the guitar and sat on the edge of his bed. His fingers hit the strings hesitantly at first, the sound raw and awkward, like his hands had forgotten how to move. But as he kept going, muscle memory kicked in, and the simple chords began to come together. He closed his eyes, imagining the dream version of himself, a man with nothing to lose, pouring his soul onto a stage. The image was electric. But what made it powerful wasn't the vision. It was the realization that he didn't have to stay stuck anymore. He didn't have to let fear control him. The next day, James signed up for an open mic night. It terrified him. He hadn't performed in years. But as the date approached, the fear began to feel less like a weight and more like fuel. He practiced every evening, often fumbling but growing stronger with each session. And when the night finally arrived, James took the stage, nerves be damned. The crowd was small, but their applause felt like thunder. For the first time in years, James felt alive again, like he was chasing something that truly mattered. That night, he didn't just reclaim his love for music. He remembered what it meant to go after the things you want.